Hey Munchkins, the first thing I'm going to say is I hope you guys have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas if you do celebrate Christmas. The other thing I've got to say is I do have a book review for you guys, and this is the 8th installment of the House of Night series, Awakened. So remember, there are going to be spoilers because it wouldn't be one of my book reviews without them, and let's talk about this book. So the first thing I've got to say is that this book isn't a complete disappointment. It's actually really decent compared to the last 3 books that I read in this series and reviewed for this, and this book is actually really good. Awakened is actually a really good book, and that's because of the twists and turns. There's so many twists and turns that I was like, wow, this book is actually reminds me of the first 4 books that I read in the series. This is actually really good, and I wish they didn't put the last 3 books that I read in there. But they kind of had to, because then you wouldn't understand this book, so yay for that, I guess. Tortured myself through those 3 books. Ugh. Anyway, let's talk about this book. So, the first thing I'm going to say is one of my favorite twists was when Zoe's mom was trying to patch things up with Zoe and her mom. And she was going to her mom's house to patch things up with her mom, and then after that she was going to go back to Zoe to, try patching things up with her because, well, Zoe's mom figured out that her husband was a cheating liar. So, yep. And the interesting thing was when Zoe's mom went to Zoe's grandma's house, she meets the high priestess, which, kills Zoe's mom because she needed a sacrifice to make a vessel. And she sacrificed Zoe's mom to the white bull, which is, remember, the evil bull, to make the vessel that the high priestess needed because, well, the immortal wasn't under her control anymore. He finally had enough, and he's kind of just like, fuck you. Don't care about you anymore. You were never under my control. So bye. And she needed somebody stronger to beat the immortal and to beat Zoe, so she had to go to the evil bull to make a vessel. And she needed a sacrifice. She wanted to sacrifice Zoe's grandma, but I guess her mom was in the way, so she just killed Zoe's mom. There you go. And did I mention that the high priestess was completely naked when she sacrificed Zoe's mom? And the reason why she was completely naked was because, well, Jack died in the beginning of the book because Zoe needed to come back to the school because she was still on her island that she came back to life from because they had like special magic and stuff that they could use on that special island, and it helps Stark bring Zoe back to life and bring her soul back together so she can come back to life completely. And the high priestess needed her to come back to the school, so she kills Jack. And she just kills him in this stupid way by just like, hey, you gotta do this for me. You gotta do this one mission for me. And then just chops his head off, and there you go. Jack is dead, and everybody's sad. Which, I wish he could have fought back, but he didn't even do anything. He didn't fight back. He kind of just took it like a man, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. But anyway, during Jack's funeral, the high priestess comes back after it is done, and she completely strips down naked to give forgiveness to the school, to ask for forgiveness. And because I told you the things after what that had happened, because it was the funeral and then the sacrifice, so you know that the high priestess is still evil, but she goes to the funeral, she strips down naked, tries to ask forgiveness for the school, and then she figures out that the immortal was never on her side. He kind of just dealt with her bullshit, and she didn't really care about him anymore. He really didn't care about her anymore, and I think it was kind of funny that that happened. That and the last Ravenmocker, or the Ravenmocker that Stevie Ray imprinted on, has a special gift now because Nyx did come back. Nyx went down to Jack's funeral to talk to the House of Night and talk to the vampires, and the gift that the Ravenmocker got was he turns into a complete raven when sun rises, and when the sun sets, he becomes completely human. So now he isn't just, he's not half and half, he's pretty much full raven and full human. Just he's full raven when the sun is up, and he's full human when the sun is down. And that's pretty cool because now Stevie Ray has her relationship problems down and she doesn't have to worry about that anymore. But anyway, the Immortal's like, I don't care about you anymore to the High Priestess, and that's why she needs the vessel. So, yeah, that's what happens. I know that's kind of really out of context, but that's what happens. And I thought that was the biggest twist that happened was, and the most ridiculous thing ever was, you don't have to strip down naked to ask for forgiveness. No, I don't know why she did that. I don't know why the authors decided to make the High Priestess forgive people completely naked, but hey, you can put all the "that what she said" jokes down in the comment section below after reading this book, if you do. And if not, then you can just say that's what she said from all the things that I've said. But anyway, the other twist that I thought was interesting was Eric, the guy that Zoe first fell in love with, after completely changing, he becomes a tracker. And that is because trackers are the vampires that turn humans into fledlings, and they have a special mark on their palm of their hand to turn them into vampires or fledlings. They put the crescent mark on their forehead, and that means Eric can't move to the LA House of Night. He has to stay in the House of Night that he lives in now because he has to stay there for 4 years before his duty is done becoming a tracker. When you become a tracker, you become a tracker for 4 years, and then after that you can do what the hell you want to, but first you kind of have to do what you need to do, and that's be a tracker for the Nyx. So the only other thing I've got to say, from all the bullshit that goes on and stuff that I really didn't care for, I really enjoyed the book, and I do rate this book higher than usual than the last other books, and I give this book a 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this book, and I hope you guys do consider reading this book, even though you kind of have to go through the bullshit the other book has to deal with. So the only other thing I've got to say is, if you liked what you've seen today, remember to subscribe, click that annotation. Remember to like or dislike, share, and favorite, and the only other thing I've got to say is keep on reading my Autobots, Decepticons, and Munchkins of all types, and I hope you guys have a great day. And happy holidays again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!